instead of me analyzing everything. So.
What did you think of Purdue when you looked at the tape? Obviously, it's an entertaining game they played the other day, but what did you see?
Well, I think it's a team that, you know, Michigan State's very good, and I think they played very physical against Michigan State and matched the physicalness of it. And then their offensive coordinator is very good at Purdue. You know, I was talking to Coach Clays before we came in here, and you know, he's one of the better guys that, you know, preparation-wise, they gave us a lot of trouble a year ago. So they do some unique things, and they're very difficult. So, but they're a team that's getting better, and you know, I mean, they were physical against Michigan State. They played very physical. So, you know, I think it's a team that very similar to what we were a couple years ago, and trying to get better and improving. And I think, you know, I think they are. I mean, it's one of those things where, you know, you don't play Michigan State like that. I mean, they were physical with Michigan State. Michigan State's a physical team.
Jerry, if you look at the track record you guys have the last 14, 15 years, everywhere you've gone, it's been improvement each year offensively, or, you know, scoring about 35 points a game. How tough is this for you and Matt, maybe Jimmy, just, you know, what you're going through offensively right now?
It's tough. I mean, it's tough. You know, we all contribute. You know, Coach, we all work together. We're a unique group. You know, and it's, you know, it's you know, it's tough. I mean, it's not easy. And you know, I just got off the call from the Big Ten, and you know, the guy from Nebraska called me and said, "Hey, can you explain all the injuries? Because we got 6 guys out, and you know, we're sitting there with, you know, Jonah Percy's playing with a brace on his shoulder. Joe Borkland left in the second quarter. You know it's more about how we're going to solve things right now, and so that's, you know, it's coaching. I mean, we've been in there grinding and thinking, and you know, what do we need to do, how are we going to do it, so forth. But you know, it's disappointing. I mean, we all got pride, you know, and we all want to be good. And I've had those stages, you know. I've been defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator, recruiting, you know, I've done it all. So I've had some situations like this before. I mean, you know, I was on a team that we tied the worst team in the league, 6-6, with a true freshman quarterback, because a guy got hurt, and we won the national championship after that. So I mean, you just got to keep grinding, and you know, we're certainly not going to give up or anything of that nature. I think you know, we got to find a way to get better, and you know, that's, you know, personally, you know, is that you know, I think it's a great challenge for us, and you know, we've always been fairly good when our back's against the wall. It ain't the first time. So, you know, we had a good session in here with our kids. We were in here, Coach Kill sat right there, and I had all the offensive players and their coaches right there, and I went play by play by play. I'd do that with you, but I wouldn't want to point out kids. But, you know, we're a couple players here and a couple players here, a couple players here. It's not just one person that are, you know, we have breakdowns, you know. We had somebody, you talked to me, I think it's Sunday, you said, "Coach, you ran it on 3rd down and 15, you know, and whatever." And Rodney Smith, if one of our offensive linemen don't turn back, which he's supposed to be going up to safety, doesn't turn back, Rodney Smith's out the door for 6 points. That's how close it is. But kids don't understand that until they see it as a whole group. And I held everybody accountable. It wasn't a yelling session. It's just, okay, you know, what's your first step? You know, where are you going? Matt, do you have anything to add to it? You know, and we, you know, instead of going out and practice, we spent all our time right here in this room, and so, you know, that was different. So we're trying to do everything we can to you know, get it fixed. And you know, physically, we may have to start, you know, 2 platooning some of the offensive linemen and just say, "Hey, give us 30 plays." You know, never done that either, but we may have to do that. You know, Belichick does it a little bit up at New England. So, you know, when you're beat up like that, you know, we get John Christian. I think he's going to play this week. He's going to try to practice today. That will help us, you know. And we moved the ball the first 2 series down the deal, and then Joe Borkland went out with his knee. So it's you know, it's frustrating, but you know, I think the kids are holding in there pretty good, and they're embarrassed. You know, they don't want to do that. Offensive line don't want to do that. Nobody does. It's really hard on Matt because, you know, he's offensive coordinator and offensive line coach. So, I mean, that's not an easy gig either in itself. So, we're just all gonna have to put our heads together and, get it worked out. And, right now we've all stayed positive and let's dig in here and go. So that's what we've done.
Coach, do you typically watch film by position group, and was that
Yeah, everybody in the country. Yeah, everybody in the country does that because you can teach faster, move faster, and things like that. But we decided to do it as a group, and not the first time I've done that, but first time with this group, and they needed to understand the big picture, And then you don't point fingers because every one of them had a breakdown or two, and then that's where it lies, is the mental part of it, and so. That means, you still got to keep cutting, keep cutting what you do until you execute, and if we're not executing, then we must be doing too much for the kids we have right now. So you got to cut back, and then we got to, we got to play to our strengths right now. I don't want to talk a lot about it, but we got 2 great running backs. They're not good. They're really good for freshmen. KJ May's playing pretty darn good, We need to play those guys' strengths. We need to run the ball. We got to get back to being who we are, and we got to find a way to do it. And we haven't we've thrown the ball 35 times a game. That isn't who we are. That's not who I am. That's not who we are, and that's not how we're going to be able to win in the Big Ten. We won 8 games last year, and I think Mitch was 10 for 15 against Northwestern. So.
How do you keep the confidence up on the team? Have they lost their confidence at all?
Well, I'm sure some, offensively, certainly, and how you get that back, you got to go make a play or two. That's pretty, when things aren't going your way, you treat, it's kind of like life. When things aren't going your way, you got to have something good happen before you get back on track in life. Same way in football. Nothing's really going right now. We need something good to happen. Well, you got to go make something happen to feel good, and so we got to, have some success and have some things to get us rolling. But it's there. We got to get healthy, and that's an excuse. It is, but that would help us. But in the meantime, we can still do it with the players we have. But we have to maintain their confidence, and part of that is you can't come in here and beat them up. They're beat up enough. They feel bad enough. Our kids care. You think they want to hear everybody say they're not, what happened and where they're at. But this is still early in the season now. We're 3-2 and we're 0-1, and we didn't play worth a darn against Illinois last year. So this ain't the end of the world. And if you look at the Big Ten right now, teams are winning 13-10, 10-6. I don't think, offensively, I don't know if there's a juggernaut in there right now. Iowa maybe, but they scored 10 points to win. I think right now it's just how are you going to win? How are we going to win? If it's 17-14, who cares? Don't turn the ball over. Don't be high risk, things of that nature. And, I think that, that's what we got to get back into our kids. We got to, like I said, those 2 backs and in the first 2 drives, that's how it should be. So, but you can't, we got 3rd down and 3, and we run a bootleg, and we need to, instead of throwing it, just run the ball, get first down, let's move on. And so things of that nature. But and when you get down there, Coach Kill, most of his career, all of it, you get past the 40-yard line, it's 4 down territory. Certainly the way our defense is playing right now, and certainly the way the wind was. So, shoot, y'all be able to get 3 yards, 3 yards, 3 yards, 1 yard, the way I look at it. So, we just need to utilize some of the people better and get the ball to playmakers. That's our fault, not them.
What were your expectations for the quarterback position this year, and how will you still meet them?
My expectations win.
Coming into the season.
Win. That's what quarterbacks do. You got to win. You got to win and move the chains. That's what our expectations.
Sounds like Mitch is available to the media today. Can we read into that he's going to continue as your starter?
No, Mitch would meet with you anytime. He's not going to dodge any bullets or anything like that. The one time he didn't meet, I think it was a tough situation for him, and I think, we held him back. That was his. That wasn't even my decision. So that was Paul's. So, he's going to answer to the media, and I'm not going to make any comments at quarterback. First of all, we make any comments, and that affects, and nobody needs to know about that. Nobody needs to know about what we're doing with the quarterback from week to week. We don't need to tell everybody what we're going to do. So, but right now is that, we all, Mitch, the whole group together, has made a mistake here, here, and here. It's not one person. So, but we'll see how all that, all that works out. We got a ton of things to work out right now. So.
Jerry, I know at times like this you definitely want to take the heat off your players and all that. I'm just wondering from a coaching standpoint, like when we talk about how it looks like the team's lost confidence, did the coaches lose some confidence in that game? Because if you look at it as a whole, there weren't a lot of deep shots, there weren't a lot of, no trick plays. You guys seemed pretty conservative in that game.
Well, just poor coaching on my part. With winds blowing 30 miles an hour, and they didn't take very many deep shots either. But that's poor coaching. I did a good job coaching last year, at the most part. We won 8 games and did some things never done here before, and all that good things. But this is New Year, and right now I'm doing a poor job coaching. A lot of people feel that way. Right now they're right. But I'm not going to feel sorry for myself. I'm a competitor, and I don't really care. I know I got to do a better job. We need to do a better job, and that's why I've been back in that room, and why me and Coach Limegrove were up till midnight on Sunday. We take it serious. We got to do better. We got to do a better job coaching. We got to do a better job getting players right ball. We got to do a better job in practice. We got to get them feeling good. We got to get our confidence back. All the things that you mentioned. But that starts with the head football coach, and I'm in charge. I'm in charge of everybody. And so, but I think the film session in here with everybody was a good session. And so we need to get, Coach Kill's got to get back the way, he's used to coaching too. So you look when things aren't good, and I know how I'm used to doing things, and I know why we haven't been doing them, but I need to get back to the way I'm used to coaching. And that's, you don't hold nothing back and roll the dice a little bit, and, so that's all on me. It's a good question, but, sometimes you have good articles, and sometimes they're probably not very good. I don't know. I didn't really read them all the time. So, some years you're the newspaper guy of the world, and one year your boss may not think you're very good, right? You're only as good as your last game in football. So and if you're not a football coach and don't understand that, you got issues. And there's just some years you can't control a lot of things, But those are, as a coach, to be honest with you, I'm in this situation. I don't want to be in it, but at the same time, sometimes some people strive in trying to get things better and get things fixed. I've been more motivated this week than I've been motivated all year. Because I'm not happy, you're not happy, the fans aren't happy, everybody's got a right not to be happy. I get it, So what am I going to do? Shoot, I've had that back against the wall since I've been here on a lot of things. So, I'm more, like I said, sometimes either when you get your back against the wall, you can feel sorry for yourself, or you can bow up and compete. And we're going to bow up and compete. Done all our lives, and our players are going to reflect that too. I think the biggest disappointment I had, and I told the kids, I didn't think our teams are playing, Saturday. Northwestern wanted it more than we did. That bothered me. You could tell that by sideline demeanor. they had all kinds of juice on that sideline. We had all kinds of juice in the TCU game. You know what I mean? All kinds of energy. And I didn't think that, you know, in the Big Ten there's little margin for error. You got to play with some juice. I mean, you got to, you know, it don't matter where you go play, you know. And I didn't see that. Our, you know, TCU high-fiving each other, having fun, all that kind of stuff. You know, so that bothers me. And I felt that, you know, the turning point of the game was when the punt return, 10-0. Otherwise, you go in 3-0, and, you know, you're going to have to beat them 14 whatever. And we went in at halftime, came back out, and didn't play with motion, didn't play as hard. Coach Clay's tell you, didn't play as hard on defenses. You know, we just didn't play with the motion. That disappointed me. Shoot, I called a timeout on defense, called Cody Palka over and said, hey, get this stuff taken care of. Get it done. Compete. Help me out here. And we stopped them. They shouldn't have to get a timeout to do that. So that disappointed me. But, again, but it's our job to get them, you know, get them where they need to be. So it reminded me of the Illinois game. Just be straight with you. It just reminded me of that. And that should never happen when you're playing the 16th team in the country, you know. And they're good. I mean, they've only given up 3 touchdowns all year. People go, oh, you know, Northwestern, and hey, let me tell you, they're good up front. And they hit us in the mouth. They played physical. They're really good on defense, and they don't turn the ball over and hand it to that running back. And they beat us at our game.
One more question for Coach.
Northwestern was just a better football team than your team Saturday.
Yep, they were on Saturday. You're right. Straightforward.
That's all right. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Coach.
You bet.